Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Sunday. It's just Savvy, Scoop, and I right now. Hopefully, some of the scoops are going to slide in. And we were kind of thinking about what do we want to talk about. And I'm just going to say that Savvy, Scoop, and I talk a lot about conspiracies. But there's things that I can't get on board with. And one of them is I do not believe that we went to the moon. Not in the 60s, not recently. Just thinking about the basics, like how fast they came into orbit. That's impossible for our bodies to handle. Flat Earth was not there before. I'm there now. So we just thought that we would talk about a couple of things. You might see me looking on my screen, my computer screen, to kind of look up some things. We just figured, hey, this is something that we actually talk about on our own time, and we'd like to invite y'all in and just, what do y'all think about some of the things that we're about to chat about? So I feel like I've pulled my friend Savvy into some different ways of thinking. Would you say, yes, that's true, or you already had your own little beliefs on certain things?
I guess once I really started thinking about things, that's when questions started to arise. Like, I think my daughter, she had already thought some things, and I thought she was walking in a tinfoil hat state, like totally just with the tinfoil hat on. But I didn't really agree with anything that she was saying at first because I didn't understand what she was trying to say. But when it came to pass, like as I started to think about things like the moon landing, which made no sense to me. And now everybody, it's funny because there's nothing really new under the sun. And of course, there are other like minded individuals out there that think like
Hmm.
I think. So it's not my own thinking. But when it came to the realization, before anyone had said anything, I'm sitting down and I'm thinking to myself, how the heck is y'all making cell phone calls on the moon? Like, we can't even get good reception today.
Unless you have Verizon, you're not going to get good reception in the mountains in Colorado.
I'm talking about some days I'm dropping for no reason at all. There are bars on my screen and I still can't get a signal. So please tell me how y'all get a signal on the moon. It was as if the president dialed them up or like with no problem at all and was like, dot, 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 dot. And he
Right.
was there. That
Please
made no
hold,
sense to
President
me.
Nixon. Let me go ahead and just patch this call through. Did they even have conference calling in the 60s?
I don't know. Don't quote me. I would have to do a little bit more research to see how that was going down back in the day. But I surely know that it just wasn't possible that they had satellite reception from America or from, the globe to the moon. Like, I mean, come on now. We were still dealing with fuzzy damn TV at that time. What are you talking about? Couldn't even see the good channels, through the
There
fuzz.
was no 5G. There was no
No,
4G. There was nothing like that.
no.
And you got these tin, like made of foil chips that they send up there. Like, are you kidding me? So then why isn't my house built of that? But you can send somebody to the moon and they can hang out there, have plenty of oxygen. Do you know how easy it is to pierce a tin foil, especially with these nails? I couldn't be up there. Not that it even exists, but no, I'm not. And look how long it's taken us to get back there, if that's really the case.
And it shouldn't have taken us that long because technology, if y'all making phone calls, technology should have brought y'all a lot more further. Now, I will say that, these are some of these other countries, China, like China probably done been to the moon and back 100
And
times
probably never even told us.
and ain't said a damn word. I mean, come on now. Their technology is beyond us. And so, like, we're still in the dark ages, still trying to figure out how to hold a signal, still trying to produce phones that are not, a whole bunch of money and then some that don't even compare to some of the phones that are out there created. Like, our technology is behind. Let's just be honest. I think that our generation's kind of dumbed down. And I hate to say that because I don't know what to say about our youth who can't write in cursive today or read in cursive. I just don't think that, that situation of landing on the moon really happened or even calling back and forth to the moon even happened. Like that just is crazy to me. But that's,
And no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's my own thinking.
And how fast that they orbited or they came back in is impossible.
Well, I just don't know that our bodies could sustain such an impact that they're claiming to when you enter into the orbit, when you leave the orbit. Like those things are just so serious I just don't know. First off, I don't care. You're not going to get me on. Listen, I'm not a guinea pig, so you're not going to get me up there to figure it out, right? That's not what I'm trying to figure out. I don't even think that we were meant to do half of the stuff that people was trying to do. I believe in the Tower of Babel. Yes, I do. Knock you down. Like, I believe that there's stuff that we wasn't supposed to see, wasn't supposed to be involved in. And so,
Hmm.
like, I think that humans like to venture for some reason into places that they ain't got no business venturing into, and then find themselves looking stupid in the end.
I 100% agree with you. And you were talking about like the younger generation. So I will tell you that some of my thoughts have recently developed, and I will say that it's my kids. You were talking about your daughter. It's
Mhm.
my kids that have been like, they've really made me think about things. So, for example, when you think about like flight patterns, right? So, flight patterns from Japan, you have to go up to Alaska first. But if you look at a flat map, it's a straight shot. Then you see why you have to go to Alaska to get there. So if you look at flight patterns, why are we going way up out of the way on a globe? But if you look at a flat earth, it makes sense. So some of the things that my kids have said to me, I'm like, that makes sense. Darn it, that makes freaking sense. And I don't want it to make sense. I don't want to be a flat earther.
What did I just come in on? You were telling me the earth is flat?
Yes, I believe the earth is flat.
We're talking
Oh.
about conspiracy theories. We're talking about things that,
Well, what we were really talking about first, the first one we were talking about is the moon landing.
yes.
And I will say that Paula here is a very smart woman. Okay. And she's probably going to be the one that's like, yes, the landing happened. The earth is round. There is no secret in Antarctica. I totally believe there's a secret in Antarctica.
What do you
How
mean?
can there be a treaty? Because Antarctica is the only continent where all the worlds have a treaty, but yet we can't get along about when it comes to other things. The Antarctica Treaty.
Santa Claus.
Santa
Claus.
What's Santa Claus?
I don't know. Maybe
The
Santa.
Antarctica Treaty. That's why nobody can go to Antarctica.
No,
It was signed in 1959, enacted in 1961. And how is that a peaceful zone? What are they hiding?
Honestly, I have two theories. And
Let's hear
listen, don't come hunting me down. Don't come hunting me down just because I'm stepping on your toes. Let me believe what I want to believe. I ain't trying to invade. I don't want to go to Antarctica. So let me just put that out there. But I truly believe that either the Ark of the Covenant is there or the Tree of Life, or this place has been set up for the elite to go when shit hits the fan. Because if you think about it, every country is saying we are okay with this area being off limits to everything known to man. Unless Trump goes in and says, hold up, he the only fool that I know that's going to be the one to go out there and make a fuss and, change treaties. But everybody else is trying to go into this place, and they're agreeing. Like, it's the only thing y'all are agreeing on. What is really over there?
58 nations, yet we can't agree on anything else. We can't have a conversation about oil. We can't have a conversation about poverty. We're at war, but there are 58 nations that seem to come up to peace and understanding about Antarctica.
So I'm not
they
familiar
meet
with this. Like, what's the treaty or what's the agreement? I'm not familiar.
So it designates the continent as a demilitarized zone reserved solely for peaceful purpose, scientific research, and environmental protection. Now, we know the Amazon produces most of the oxygen in the world, the Amazon forest. Why is the Amazon not protected? What's in Antarctica that 58 countries are like, we're going to get along? So here's what I think is down there. I'm kind of on board with you, Savvy, that it might have something relation to a biblical connection. I also wonder if it's like a gateway that leads to other places outside in this world, like, or there's a world underneath there. We grew up in science and they said the center of the earth is hot. There's magma, right? Why is the water so freaking cold as you get deeper? What's really in the center of our earth? I just think that there was a flat earth maps for many centuries, and then they switched it up. Why did they change it? What are they hiding?
What do you
And
think?
we all just jumped on board. We all just assumed that South America is in the south, Canada is above us. Like, this can be deep. What if the entire map is not right?
Well, aside from something biblical, what else do you think could be hidden in that area that requires such secrecy?
I think it could possibly be a gateway to another world. And I don't mean a world off in space. I mean just a world here. Like, we already know there are massive caves in the world where entire cities can fit into. So there could also be that. And if you believe that the earth is flat and there's an ice wall, and some people believe that there's continents outside the ice wall, is that a portal to those other continents? Or not even a portal, a tunnel to outside the ice wall? It's quite the rabbit hole. I don't send you the things because I don't know if you watch, but
I guess I kind of like the idea of this whole, I've never given this any thought, but this whole idea of a portal, maybe not necessarily to like another world existing alongside our world, but like another realm.
yes, that's what I believe that it is.
Mhm.
I believe that it's just like a tunnel, like a tunnel from Manhattan to Los Angeles, an underground tunnel. But instead, this is a natural tunnel that probably could lead outside to a world that that we have not been privy to, but these, 58 countries are aware of. The elite are aware of.
I'm over here laughing because I'm thinking about the Men in Black.
Hollywood movies have some
crazy.
truth.
I know. I honestly believe that Hollywood actually does have truth. I think that that's
Oh.
how they put it in our face, and we just are not seeing. Like, I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm laughing because I'm thinking of Men in Black, and yeah, it could be a portal. It could be so many things but the question is how can you guys agree on how can all of you guys agree on this one space? You guys can't agree on world hunger.
You have Russia invading the Ukraine, but y'all
can't agree on the
try
damn
to take Antarctica.
y'all can't agree on pandemic. Y'all can agree on this. Like, there's certain things that just really raise questions as to what's really going on over there.
Yeah, and there was a pilot bird, I think his name is Jaybird something, who said he flew beyond the ice wall, and they've hidden they don't publish any of his stuff. I mean, you can find, but his journal, they don't have his journal, or they have his journal, but you can't read his journal. It's all very, very interesting. I wonder at what point, Paula, when I hit record, I said I was going to be looking at my computer to kind of not fact check, but to look at some things. And I do wonder when the globe theory came out. Yeah, when? Yeah, you're muted.
I was gonna say when. Look it up.
So are you like a conspiracy theorist, Shannon?
I think I am now. Especially with these other things that have been coming out that we know now are factual. Like, what was happening to children, babies? What were they doing to these babies? Now,
I'm sorry, what?
everybody's like,
What
oh,
babies? What did you say?
They were
like
eating
the Epstein
children.
files, eating children, like all that stuff. Like, people talked about it like, oh, that's crazy. That would never happen. People would never do that. Guess what? This stuff was happening. And I think we're so, what is the word? I use it often, and for some reason I can't think of it. Herded. We're so herded. We're so herded to have this way of thinking. They don't want us to veer off and think for ourselves, or think that this is a possibility that maybe that's not exactly true. Everything that you're putting in front of us is not exactly true.
I'm going to say that for a minute there, I was going to say, I really have a hard time believing that people would eat children. Like, I have a hard time believing that there is that much wicked in the world. But the Bible says that the heart of man is like ridiculously wicked. And a mom was just sentenced to 21 life sentences for PN on her children. So, like, mindset, people are wildly crazy. So why wouldn't people be eating children? Why wouldn't the world be wicked? Why wouldn't they be acting crazy out here? Like, it blows my mind. But to think that kind of stuff is actually going on around us, it's an unsettling time. And for the elite to cover it up. Again, don't come for me, because I'm not coming for y'all. Y'all do, like, for real. Don't come for me on my doorstep. Like, I have my own thought process. We all entitled to our own thoughts. We're entitled to how we see things and how we believe. I think it's wild that you would do such a thing. I think that's inhumane. I think it's sick, and I think it would be disgusting for people to do that. And I think it is crazy that wickedness is in such high places that they would be a part of the nonsense that is out there. That doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. And we're taking what they say as factual.
Mm-hmm.
So,
milk
yeah.
carton kids. Where'd all they go? Where did they go? Where did the milk carton kids go?
Using school pictures to pick out children, which is true. It's crazy, all the things that are coming to light. You know what the Bible says, what you do in the dark will be brought to light.
And there's too much nosy technology today that you're not able to do anything in darkness. Like, people are catching things every day, all day long. Like, it's hard to hide things. It's hard to not see things. So today, of course, some of this stuff will be coming out. People speaking up. People like Monica Lewinsky, they keep stuff forever. And then you find out years later that the stuff is still around. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff comes out. It don't go away.
I just don't think people are asking enough questions. We are just told to believe it. So I did look up when people realized the earth was round, and they're saying 5th or 6th century BC. How? It says in 3rd century BC, they did a measurement, used the angles of shadows to do 2 different cities to calculate the circumference of the earth. But like you said earlier, Savvy, you go in a drop zone somewhere and your cell phone's not working. But I can measure the earth at 384 to 322 BC.
I'm wondering what kind of technology they had back in the day. Like, I'm wondering what.
That's another thing.
What is it? What is it that does the latitude and longitudes and stuff like that? How y'all actually figure that out? Because back in the day, it sounded like the seas were raging and warring. Like, there were people dying on these great travel destinations because they were so deadly.
There is a woman who I recently saw, and she said that she felt like the people before us were highly educated. Their technology was beyond our belief now. The people that were here on Earth, before any catastrophe happened, and they don't want us to know about that technology.
That's the stuff that really intrigues me. It's not so much the conspiracies, but things like the pyramids or Machu Picchu or the Moais and the Easter Island. Those huge statues that are supposed to be like buried 10 feet underground and their heads are sticking out.
And what they've discovered under the pyramids is insane. The columns recently? How?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that makes me go, what were we spending our time and our energy and our brain power on before this modern world came about? And we're just focused on, more for me, less for you, power, power, power. What could we do? What could humanity actually do if we focused our energy in the right place?
Sounds like you just asked what was the dumbing down part in the historical moment for us to dumb down and come out of this place of, I don't know, witty inventions and,
or even just like
intelligence.
Right. And when was like Beethoven and Vivaldi and, all these beautiful pieces of music and beautiful pieces of artwork that you just don't see that level of genius nowadays. Like, I don't. Did you guys watch that video?
The music today is terrible.
That clip you sent today.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Did you watch it, Tanisha?
Beautiful.
It was so beautiful. It literally just, and you could see it in the people watching that clip of Vivaldi. Just the music moved you, like it literally moved your heart, your emotions, and like, where's that level of genius now?
It's like it's all been buried.
Because what they think they're making genius today is really immoral trash.
Well, I think we have geniuses. I just think that they are silencing them or getting rid of them.
That might be a true statement.
Did you guys ever read Ayn Rand? Books by Ayn Rand? The Fountainhead, what was the other one?
Mm-mm.
So I don't know when she was writing, in the 40s, 50s, 60s. I'm not really sure. But like The Fountainhead is this book about an architect, and he was always kind of like outside the conventional stuff, like not a sheep. You were just talking about hurting. And the whole book was just like pushing against him, pushing. The whole story is about how society, these expectations are pushing against him, pushing against him. And there's another one about the railroad. What was that one called? And in this story, all of these geniuses, were putting out beautiful work, but then all these geniuses started disappearing. And at the end of the book, it turns out that they had decided to pull away their work from society because of the way it was being manipulated, or, the way that their work was being used not for the greater good, but for profit and, to push other people forward. So they started pulling back. They started taking away their inventions. And at the end of the book, I mean, it's been a long time since I've read it. They had like established their own colony somewhere. It was still like on Earth, but they had decided that they were not going to use their gifts for the propagation of this world. They were going to pull away from society and still create and do all the things that they were good at, but only for themselves. It's an interesting story. I forget what that book is
You know
called.
what? I see, and that doesn't even sound like a story to me. That sounds like what a bunch of geniuses would do. Like, bump that, I'm out. Republicans are doing this, Democrats are doing this country's doing that, this country's doing, like, we're taking our knowledge and we're just going to go create a homestead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't that what people are doing today? Like, they're breaking away from the system, and trying to create that space away from the chaos and the havoc.
One kind of conspiracy theory that I do think about is cancer.
Me too.
Think about, if you think about, and I don't know the statistics, but the hundreds and thousands of people who get diagnosed with cancer every day or who are dying from cancer every day. If that was happening like in vehicles or in airplanes, damn straight someone would be doing something about it, right? If there was thousands of people dying in a Toyota Camry every single day, Toyota would be pulling the Camrys off the lot, off the roads, and figuring stuff out, doing recalls, fixing the problem. But why?
But then everybody, then the Toyota company would lose money.
Well, that was the case, kind of like that was the thought behind the Pinto. But so I think that there's a certain conspiracy behind these illnesses that are creating a lot of money for the companies that are, putting out the treatments, the chemotherapy, the experimental drugs, the scans. Because again, if those levels of death were happening in a different type of industry, government would have stepped in and said, hey, this is not okay. We will not allow you to continue to kill people in the Toyota Camry. And I'm just sorry, Toyota, don't get mad at me. I drive a Toyota Camry. That's why that came out. So I do think that there's, when I think about conspiracy theories, that's like actually one of the first ones that comes to my mind is, why isn't there a cure for cancer? Is it
I think
because
there is
it's
a cure
too
for
right?
cancer.
Because is it too profitable?
Exactly.
I don't think it's too profitable. I think that it's a broken system to keep everyone's pockets lined. The broken wheel has to keep.
That's why it's profitable. That's why
I
it's
think it
profitable.
has
You
to.
keep people sick, medication, insurance. You keep them sick, they keep coming back. They keep coming back. They keep coming back. There's no doubt there's a cure for cancer. Remember HIV and AIDS? You know how many people are living with that now? Magic Johnson's had it for how long has he had it? There are people that are living with these infections, cancer, viruses. They have money. I already think there's a cure for cancer. Absolutely. But they're not going to share it because cancer is profitable.
Yeah. And I'm not sure that even if maybe cancer is just a regular thing and they are like, I don't know if you guys watched What the Health. That was this show that talked about different foods that increased cancer, but yet promoted the cure or in search of the cure. I think that in this broken wheel that we're on, this systematic wheel that is it's not broken. It's broken for us, but it's not broken for them. That 1%, is that what they're called? The people that are up there making all the money, like they're the ones making the decision to keep the hospitals and the insurance companies and the doctors and, keeping all of them in rotation to keeping the doors open. Like you go to the doctor And the doctor's like, yeah, this is what you have. We're not going to treat the condition. We're going to treat the symptoms, basically, so that you keep coming back. But you need this ongoing medicine. But don't take this medicine with the natural remedy that is supposed to be what? Contradicting to it? Like, because that natural remedy and basically is the thing that's is treating the condition and not the symptom. So we're in this place of, I don't even know what to say. That's the conspiracy. It's, sorry to go get all excited, but it's the Masonic Creed. And I implore you guys to look into that, see how you feel about that, because that's a whole nother conspiracy theory. That's a whole nother issue as to the filthy lies that the elite feed the entire world, because they want to bring people down. They want them to believe this thing. And if Rockefeller, with his foul, nasty self, was doing it way back then, like, this is the way that they thought. It's disgusting. And once you know, it's like you can't turn it off. You
can't not
can't
know.
turn it off. Yeah, that's the problem. Once ignorance is no longer bliss, where are you left?
That always reminds me of that scene in The Matrix when he said, when he was turning against his crew and he was sitting with, I think, what was Agent Smith? And he said he didn't want to remember anything. It's like, I know this is not a real steak right now, but it tastes so good. Ignorance is bliss.
But it's really,
When you learn things, it now requires a certain responsibility. Kind of like the Bible. Like the other day, I had told you I felt a particular way about something I had done, and it literally brought tears to my eyes because now I know different. When you know different and when your eyes are open about things, you think differently, you act differently. And I think that people would just rather say, oh, that's not happening. So they can go blissfully along their merry way in life.
yeah, because why not think that humans are eating one another? Like, that's so ravenous. Like, that's inhumane and icky. And why would we want to think that we're that cruel or inhumane? But
Right.
we really are. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
how do we deal with all these dichotomies, or this, what is the word? Cognitive dissonance. How do you deal with this on a day-to-day basis?
Honestly, it stresses me. I'm not gonna lie. I have a hard time walking around daily. It's as if the blinders have been removed. And it's a difficult place to be in, because the heart the heart of man could be so ill. I can't imagine that people could actually do the things they do. Like, it's hard to imagine that
Right.
on a day-to-day basis. And I question the people that stand in my presence every day. Like, I'm trying not to question them, but I do question them. I question their moral thought process. I question their thought process for everyone around them, for me, for them, for their children. Like, it does, I don't know. It's difficult.
It is. It is difficult, but this is the world that we live in. So, all of that stress and that worry and the how could this be the world that we have created? That puts a lot of pressure and stress on you. So how do you cope? I mean, this is the world we have. This is the world we're living in.
This is when people need to come together and make changes. So if we're just talking about this particular incident, about what was happening, what came out in the files, who's a part of it, this whole government needs to be wiped clean, like clean slate. And there are more of us than there
Than
are
them.
them. But
Yeah.
we cannot seem to come together. Why can't we come together?
Because there's a great division. They have to keep people divided. They have to keep us divided in order to make sure that we don't come together. That's why in the Black community, it is such an issue that we can't come together and unite with one another and stand like other communities can. Stand like other people can and fight a good fight. Like, I don't even understand why. It's one of those things that I feel like the system has set up in place to keep all of us separate, to keep us from knowing what the other one is doing. Once we start coming together, it's like Divergent. I know y'all remember that movie with what was it? Donald Sutherland was the bad guy in that movie. he was like the number one. He always wore white. They were constantly trying to keep everyone divided from one another. This section here, this section here, this section here. Because once everyone comes together, of course, you don't want people to come together, because once they come together, you can't, it's like a mighty fist, one that can't be broken. But they don't want that. They don't want that. That's why even in Black history, you look, every time they tried to come together, they were like, oh no, we can't let them come together, because if we let them come together, heaven forbid we let them come together and they start to show. No, they destroyed that all the way back when. That's another conspiracy theory that is just in plain sight, that Black people need to know about their history. It's not just about there were darknesses in place that specifically wanted to separate so that we could not come together. And it's important that people should know that.
The CIA did it when they brought crack cocaine into the Black neighborhoods.
And that wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time.
No.
It wasn't. It isn't.
She's having heart palpitations over there.
Take a drink. Take a drink.
So there's a lot that could derail our minds and make us question humanity and question, like if you let your mind swim in all of this, you can get to the point of like, what is even the point of this life? Like, what is even the point of being a participant in this world? And that can be a really dark place to go. And we're all women of faith in this group. So how do you overcome that? How do you ladies overcome that every day?
I can't sit dwelling in those. Like we're always waiting for somebody else to come and be the leader, right? I would love to lead something. I would love to lead the pack for change. I don't feel like I have that presence. I don't have that, like, who's going to follow me? I can't even get my kids to freaking do their chores, So when they were growing up. So every day I just have to continue my own personal path, do right by what I know I should be doing, and follow that path and live through faith and fearlessness. Like I know that we are coming to some sort of an end. Like every country falls. Every country has fallen and they've risen in a different way. It's happened. Our time is coming. Whether it's our country, our world, whether it's biblical or not, there is an end coming. And I just feel like I need to be as best prepared as I can be. And if I am taken out, then I'm taken out. I have to pray that there's a better place for me. I don't even know if I want to be here during all that stuff. I fear more for my grandchildren. Just in a place. Did you guys ever see this Facebook page? And it was somebody who was standing in a very desolate, war-torn place, and they had an oxygen mask, and the mask was leading to a plant. It was the only plant left. Everything around had been destroyed. And that one plant provided the oxygen they needed to live. I genuinely fear for what the world is going to be for my grandchildren. Water resources, power, the power grid going down. How long would that take to get back up? Food shortages. I still am baffled that we have to pay for healthcare in this country. It should be a right to have healthcare. But again, we're feeding into it's money. It's all about money. So I don't really, for me, I don't fear for myself. I fear for the ones who come after me, and just pray that things get better and that there is a movement and we can make a change, because I would love to be there. I would love to do what I can to do my part.
So what I think, I say this to my husband a lot because he's very much, consumed by the news and the state of the world, especially our political system. And maybe this is the wrong way to look at it, but I'm like, okay, so what can you and I do about this bigger picture, this bigger world? We can turn our focus not to the White House, but to our house. It's like what Aaron says, control stops here, right? So all I can do every day is the best that I can in my own little world. That's all I can do.
And you're doing it too, like, just without saying what you have going on your property, you're doing things that are going to benefit when other things are when there's shortages, when there's food shortages. You have the means with your current situation to be in a better position than a lot of us. Actually, all of the scoops, Well, I don't know. I guess we could use our backyards. Savvy has a lot of land. So, and we're thinking about things. How can we not rely so heavily on our grocery stores? How can we grow our own medic herbs for medicine.
All
Another
of-
thing we need.
No, I think all of that is
Yeah.
important, but just for me, for my own like peace of mind and for peace in my heart and peace in my soul, like I could easily drown in all the negativity and all the conspiracies. So I have to just turn to my little corner of the world and try to make that the best place for me and the people that I love. And honestly, I think that's all we can do. And I think that if we all spent more time focusing on our own home, on not the White House, our house, and creating people who are not afraid to speak up and not afraid to stand up, and people who are not afraid to speak up for others, and create a home where values matter and where right over wrong, where choosing the right thing instead of the easy thing is the law we live by, then those little actions can perhaps start to make a greater difference. But if I stew on all the BS that's going wrong in the world, I'm going into a very dark place that I don't want to go into, because then you do get consumed over like, what is even the point of this life? And there is a point to this life, and we can talk about that on another podcast. So that's what I would encourage all of us to do. You can only focus on what you can control. And it's surrounded by the walls around us.
Absolutely. I don't even watch the news. I can't. But yeah, there are other things that sit on my mind. Yeah, it was an interesting topic we just kind of dived into real quick today. Savvy, you have anything else you want to add?
No, not really. I just, I think that I definitely agree with Paula. I think that that's where mindfulness and self-reflection comes into play, to try to not join in. But there is, on the inside of me, has always been this protagonistic spirit that rises up when just the world is going through, not the world, but people in my community, people in my area. It's hard to sit back and know that these things are going on in our backyard, and not enough people are standing up. Not enough people are addressing. They're allowing the bullies to win. And that's one thing I've always hated, is a bully. And so, the bullies are out there bullying, and it's difficult because we are being affected. Like, it's hard not to focus on the White House when healthcare is so crappy in our areas and our family are barely making it, knowing that they're receiving the programs that are being cut. Or, you've got your children who are low income and receiving benefits like Section 8, and they're thinking about cutting those. Or childcare, can't find childcare because there's a hold on childcare. And that all comes from our government. I think that people need to awaken out of a state of fear and allowing the government and allowing people to do the things that they do. I do think that we do need to find a healthier place where we're not stressed out, but I do think that we need to band together and stop the bullies.
Absolutely. Well, that was a great topic. Thank you all for joining us. Let us know what your conspiracy theory is. Convince me. Put it in the chat in YouTube or a comment in YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and have a great night. Happy Sunday, Sunday.